going on, Andrew Nieporent?
Oh, it's all good, Rich Sony. It's been too long. I mean, we've seen each other, we've talked to each other, but when was the last time we did this show together?
Man, it's been a while. I mean, you said you didn't use
Yeah.
Riverside FM, so I think it's been at least 2 years. Because, I mean, you were one of the, for context for the listeners, Andrew first appeared as the fourth guest on the show, so that was back in 2021. And you came on a few times over the course of
Oh
like
yeah.
the first two-thirds of the show, and then we were gonna do the in-person episode, and then we kept
Oh
putting that
yeah.
off for a while, and then
I think we'll do that one day.
We
I
will,
think that'd be cool.
for
But
sure.
I think the last time we did this, I was probably talking about Andrew and the Valentines, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, since then, you pretty much talked to everyone I love. So I've been on the margins.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's so
Yeah.
like 2022 might have been the last time, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
that's exactly it. So I was talking with a bunch of people, trying to bring new voices on, and then it just never happened. So we're here,
Well,
and we have a
here we
lot
are.
to catch up on.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
That's exactly where we left off, right? Like the last time, for sure, you were telling the story of Andrew and the Valentines, and it hadn't happened yet. And actually, you must have come on one time after that March, because that seems pretty early for you to be talking about the next Valentine's Day.
Yeah. You would think. I mean, we released the Andrew and the Valentines album in March of 2023.
Yeah,
And that album. I mean, we were so proud of that album. It was such an achievement, and it was a really big moment for us as a band. And we gigged a ton after that. And now we are no longer Andrew and the Valentines. At the end of 2024, we parted ways with our longtime bass player, Adam Kahn. He had a lot of things he was looking to accomplish, and he needed the space to go do it, and we gave him our blessing. And to quote myself, probably not for the last time, wherever he is tonight, we hope he's feeling well. And so I always said that if we've done so much by that point. So I always said that if we were going to have a lineup change after the album came out, it would have been right to lean in and embrace change, not to try to force things to stay the same. And so we did not replace him. We have, I think all of us except Harrison have taken a turn on certain songs playing bass. We're a bit more modular. We're a more instrument switchy kind of band, and we have a new name. We're called Andrew and the Kindly Ones, which, just like last time, is named after the album. We named ourselves after the album that we were not done with yet and we were working on. And the Kindly Ones will be released on Saturday, November 15th. And we'll be doing yet another release party at Cedar Beans Coffee Joint.
amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super exciting. And yeah, I am looking. It must have been a year before, so it must have been right when you started talking about Andrew and the Valentines when
Must have
you
been.
had been on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's interesting. So you had the whole chapter basically in between. So you're leading out. We'll go back to Andrew and the Valentines in a little bit and talk
Sure.
about that, because there's
Yeah.
a lot to unpack. But before we do you want to
Yeah.
talk about the new album a little bit?
Do I want to talk about the Kindly Ones?
Yeah,
Of course
yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
What's different between Andrew and the Valentines recording in 2023 and Andrew and the Kindly Ones in 2025?
Major difference is that Andrew the Valentines was mostly recorded either in Nashville or in Mahwah with Steve Carter. In this time around, although a lot of work was done initially with Steve Carter in Nashville, and he is still mixing and mastering the album. The bulk of the work that the band has done to record has been with Adam Beener, my long time, one of my closest friends, one of my longest running creative partners of all time. He was the lead guitarist in my first band in college, Andrew Nieporent and the Non-Specifics. And he and I have a very long running, I like to think it's nearly 20 year long conversation. And he's right around the corner. I'm here in Verona. He's right around the corner in Roseland. And his kids have gotten just old enough. His oldest is 6, where he has a little more time and space to devote to making some music and working on some music. And so this year was a banner year, and we mostly recorded the album with him. And
Nice.
what that has led to is more of a band record. Also, a change is the titles. It was always that Steve Carter was the producer. While I was in Nashville and Steve and I were working, and he had all these great ideas and we were using them, but some of those ideas were really good ideas that I felt were not right for what we were trying to do. I was like, well, if we do this, there won't be enough room for the band, for like what Ivo's going to do, what Scarpa's going to do, what Harrison's going to do. And at some point, Carter, after like a really like productive day, where nonetheless we like had to like hammer a lot of ideas out and in, Carter suggested, Andrew, I think you have grown so much in terms of what you want the record to be. I think you should be the producer, and I think we should be listed as engineers, and so that's the case. I am the producer of this album, and I have Steve Carter as the Nashville engineer, and I have Adam Beener as the New Jersey engineer.
Cool.
But it's a much more, although there are plenty of really cool studio confectionaries, kind of like what we did with Andrew and the Valentines. It's much more the sound of a band playing together.
Nice. That's cool.
Because we've been at this for so long now,
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I only got to see you all play that one time, but you played great, and I do think they're... Actually, you have a live album. I listened to that a little bit, and it sounded good, right?
We have
On Bandcamp?
yes, and we have a couple, we have a few shows documented on YouTube.
Oh, cool. No, I haven't seen
the right
those.
place, you can find them.
I gotta check those out.
Yeah, different points in time. I don't think anything of the kindly ones yet. I mean, we've only been doing this iteration for a year, and because we focused a lot this year on recording. We've done a good number of shows this year, but like not as many as previous years, and that's fine. Every show's been great. In fact, I'm thrilled with how we're sounding, and I think things require a little more thinking, a little more choreography. Like there's a song where I play bass and sing. There's a song with no drums where Ivo plays bass. There's songs. On the album we have the closing track, "Road to Amity." The album is going to essentially end with a Danny Scarpa solo. So it's just we've gotten really good at pulling these things off and being where we need to be. It's a little more theater-ish almost, which is fitting because the songs are darker and more thematic and more, we have this mythology theme kind of.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When you wrote the songs for Andrew and the Valentines the first time around, you knew you were going to have a band for it. I remember you saying you wanted to put together a band and release it on Valentine's Day.
Right, and the band already existed too. I knew I wanted to make an album called Andrew and the Valentines when there were none of the songs at all. Like the band was named after the story told in Theme from Andrew and the Valentines that takes place, back in 2012, involving Darren Bradbury and Danny Scarpa, and it's Scarpa also insists that that's still a legitimate lineup of the band that lasted for one evening. Scarpa will say, I was a member of all three lineups of Andrew and the Valentines, and the kindly ones.
That's sick. So yeah. Writing that, you had a band in mind. How did you?
Yeah.
And you had the name and the concept. So how did you lay out the? Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But how did you? With the kindly ones, you're approaching it the second time around with a band in mind. And you've done this before with the non-specifics back in the day. But how is your? I guess I'm curious to hear how you approach a solo record versus one where you're playing with a band in terms of how you're writing and laying it out.
Yeah, easy. The album is extremely collaborative. There's only 2 songs on the whole thing that are solely written by me. All songs written by Andrew Nieporent is kind of overrated to me right now. I kind of don't care about that. Who cares if I wrote it alone?
Right.
Blinding genius that I am. Whatever. I love the fact. So not only did I write with the band, not only is Dangerous, and by the way, Buried the Lead, but the single Dangerous is out now on all streaming platforms. Dangerous it's great. You can listen to it right now. Thank you. And I co-wrote that with Ivo. I mean, I went over, I went over on purpose to Ivo's place, just the 2 of us. It was 2 summers ago now, and I had like a little bit of a very skeletal beat on a drum machine. I played it for him. I said, hey, make this like way better and real. And he did. And we at first I was thought we would do something funky because, Ivo's got that ability in spades of Slider P and everything. But instead it was like, oh, this is the other side of you, Ivo. This is the Austin Powers soundtrack side of you, Secret Agent Man, And we went back and forth on all the words, and it came out awesome. So I've got that. I've got the 2 tracks that close the album were written with Harrison. But then not only people in the band, but also outside the band. A song that you've already discussed on this podcast, Welcome Home, Welcome Home, is going to be on this album, which I wrote with my son, Ray. Right? Since we last spoke on this podcast, I not only became a dad to an adult, but I'm now an empty nester dad to an adult who has moved out. That's how much has happened to me. I may not look at folks who are listening who don't know me, but I am about to be 38 years old, and I have a 25-year-old son, and I love him very much, and I'm really, really proud of him. And yeah, we wrote this song, Welcome Home, together.
Hell yeah! And
that's going to be on the record. And Ray is on there, strumming the baritone ukulele, which he doesn't play that much anymore because he's a real guitar player these days. But we thought the texture would be really nice to bring in, and his voice. And we recorded his voice a couple of times because of the months that went by. His voice got deeper, and we wanted to we wanted him to sound like him.
Sure.
And the harmony is gorgeous that we got together. So so I mean, there's a song with Ray. There's a song just like Andrew and the Valentines. The collaboration with Adam Beener, I'll Take the Road, was so well received. And now Adam is the engineer on this record, and so we did another one together. It's called The Chaser. It's a beautiful song. And there's a Grand Old Time, which is a chaotic talking blues / protest song against the borough of Staten Island. It was co-written with Jared Beers, our good friend Jared Beers, and that we recorded live. We went to Trading 8's studios. Shout out to Chris Sulik. He did an amazing job. We didn't know him before, but we were sent his way, and it was one of the coolest experiences. We all came in, we sat down behind our instruments. Scarpa got to play a legit Hammond B3 organ, and it's worth mentioning that Adam Kahn, while he's left the band, did did track bass all over the record, and he also was there. And given that he's not going to be around for the release show, that's probably the last time that the Valentines lineup played together. Can't think of a better last time, because that's the song. I mean, I just can't wait till everyone gets to hear these tracks. They're so alive. This is our prog rock record, but if you hate prog rock, you'll still love this, because it's not like, I don't hate prog rock, and Harrison Beath is in my band, so,
yeah.
But there are some interestingly sectioned songs. There is room for solos. Like, everyone gets at least one really great moment on each instrument. Like, there's one great Harrison saxophone solo. There's one showcase for Harrison and his Telecaster. And Harrison's love of The Cure changed the sound of this record. We're thrilled. So yes, I guess the biggest thing is that my bands, as people and musicians, their influences changed our sound, and I let it. I let it, because that what else? I know what I want, but to me, the decision is choosing them. It's not making them be things that they're not.
Right. Yeah.
What
was it like? How did you prepare for the live tracking? Was that a lot different than doing?
Well, I mean, we always had a rule that we never practiced Grand Old Time to keep it like ramshackle AF. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so like raw and like, but we so no, we didn't. We kind of just went in there, plugged in, and we just like trusted that we knew what we were doing, and we did. I mean, listen, those kinds of studio situations, it's a really cost-effective way to do things if your band is really good and knows, because we were charged for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It only took us 2 hours. We spent an hour tuning, plugging in, setting up, getting the cobwebs off. And I think we then played the song maybe 2 or 3 times. The third time was it. And I listened to it now, and like Steve mixed it and has put, all of the kind of effects that you can do, but underneath all of that is still the performance. And I listened to it, like, I cannot believe we were this on. We sounded so good.
That's sick. I mean, I love live recording. I haven't been able to do it with a band ever, but I'd like to do that. I'm thinking with my music. I'm working on an album right now. I'm recording with AC Boris from Aiden the Jack Finnessees. I don't know if you know him.
Oh yes, yeah, love Aiden. I haven't seen him in a minute, but he's so talented.
Oh yeah, he is. Yep, totally. Yeah, and I like AC, and he came on the podcast, and I was talking with
AC,
him.
I know him.
Yeah.
AC's. Yeah, he's. Actually, I think we all feel like he. I think Ivo sees something of himself in AC, and I think he's not wrong too.
Yeah. No, he's good, and so I've been working on that. But I also I've been thinking about trying to put together a ramshackle band and just show up Bob Dylan style, and just record versions of my songs with a live band.
I think you should do that. Yeah.
Once I'm done, I mean, I work so slowly lately, but once I'm done with recording this album, that's one of the next things I want to do. And it just seems like I just wasn't sure. Like if it would work or not, but I kind of think it might. Especially if you know this. Like, I'm imagining if, as long as you know the song and the words, you're just jamming at that point or whatever.
Right. As long as you're okay with whatever the variables are going to be. Then like it's actually hard for it not to come out great. Mm-hmm. We had so much fun. It was but also I was worried it was going to stick out like a sore thumb on the album, but it doesn't. Like we're very close to done right now. We're waiting on last two tracks need to be mixed. That's about it. So I'm close to being able to play this album, and hear it as an album. I really,
Yeah.
I'm getting impatient to do that. I love that part.
What's the next move after that? Because there's always that, like, once you're done with an album, you gotta like, I wouldn't say keep the momentum going, but you're a blank canvas and it's hard to think of the next move.
Well, I do have a plan for what's next. The plan is I'm going electric.
Nice. I like that.
I've never done it.
I've never seen you play electric. Yeah.
Nobody has. The sheer number of minutes logged on electric guitar in the span of my life making music, it's unbelievably small. Earlier this year, sadly, we lost a friend, John Simon.
Yeah. I heard about this.
Yeah, he was a stalwart of open mics in the local music scene, he passed away. And a few years ago, so he and I we would always hang out, especially in the summertime, because we were both doing the Ridgewood Musicians Guild, and so after the Ridgewood days, he wasn't coming around to my open mic or a lot of the local ones as much, but in the summer I could always count on. We would busk and we'd go get ice cream, at Ben and Jerry's. And
for people who don't know, the Ridgewood Musicians Guild, do you want to elaborate on that?
Oh, well, that's in the summertime in Ridgewood. If you go on Friday night, you'll see there are musicians placed all over town, busking.
Outside of the shops and stuff.
Yeah, I did it this. I don't think I've missed a summer since they started that in 2011. Yeah,
I think I only did it one time. I don't know if you were there. I did it with Scott for sure.
Oh yes, I remember when I remember Scott was doing it weekly and you joined him.
Yeah.
Oh wait, was that at Ben and Jerry's? Were you there when?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it was eventful specifically though. Like nothing crazy happened. I just went and played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think Annie might have been there too, but maybe not.
No, I remember Annie singing 500 Miles.
Oh, maybe. I could hear myself.
I just remember that. I just remember when I wake up. I just remember it was really, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? Scott would know. He writes down every single show, so I'll have to find out.
Scott's a guy after my heart in that way.
Likewise. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no problem. But John, a few years ago, like apropos of nothing, he just gave me a guitar, and he it was 9:15. We'd finished our sets. We met up and we were walking over to Ben and Jerry's to have some ice cream, and he just gave it to me, and it was basic. He sort of created he did it in such a way that I didn't have time to protest or be like, John, why are you should I pay you for this? Where did you get this guitar? Why are you? You just take the guitar, say thank you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he died, I was already contemplating this plan to go electric, and now the plan is to play the guitar he gave me, which is a Dean, and to play it in his honor. And so that's the guitar I'm going to be using. I'm going. I want us to. We made this really grand conceptual record, and that's awesome. And I don't want to try to keep topping it in that way. We'll never be a metal band. We'll never be Rush, as much as Harrison would love us to be. So instead, what I want us to do is I think it was really cool that we can go back to basics and innovate at the same time. So I want us to become a little alt country, little Being There, Wilco, Sunvolt, old 97s. I love old 97s. I want to do catchy, rock and roll, indie rock, a little bit of a twang, a little sad, a little funny, that's my idea. And I've written 0 songs, but I intend to remain collaborative. I have Harrison, Dan, and Ivo in my band. That's 3 different types of sad country songs I can write. And of course, I want to write with Ray again. I want to write with Ziggy Grover this time. Ziggy is a close friend, and we've never written a song together. And he's one of the most creative and exciting individuals that I know. And he wrote a song about Dune.
Really?
You
Oh
know,
yeah,
I
actually I
mean,
knew that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So like we need to write together. So don't I can say to you that there's going to be a Ziggy Rover collab on the next record, one way or another. Yeah, I want to do something kind of light and fun. You know, I'm not sacrificing any of the songwriting quality. I want to do something just very different.
Right, right. I think that's a good step, and it's not. I
Yeah.
think it. I don't think it's that far of a leap, honestly. You're
Right.
just switching the acoustic guitar for like you said, for a twang, and then you have a new palette to work with.
Right. I mean, the joke, of course. So I plan to go electric our first show after the release, and I can tell you when it's going to be. The release is going to be on Saturday, November 15th. 2 weeks later, we're going to be at Big and Tall recording, and we're going to be playing with Matt Newberg of The Imperfect, who is one of my favorite people. Very, very creative, light in the scene. One of the most thoughtful people about music I know too. I mean, I cannot allow a bunch of months to pass without getting together with him to just shoot the breeze about music and movies and literature and anything. So we're going to do a show together, and the main attraction is that it's like a retrospective of his band, because I think he's going to be just doing it less after that. But the sub attraction is Andrew Goes Electric. You know, it's gonna piss some people off, right, Rich?
Yeah. People are going to be chopping the power
Someone's going to be
cord.
trying to cut the power.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Big and Tall, I haven't been to, but I've heard some good things about it. Have you played there before?
Yeah, I was there a few years ago for a show. I haven't been able. I think they go back. Sometimes they don't do shows. I think I wanted to book there at a time where they were winding it down, but now they're really back up and running.
Cool.
I got the contact info.
Do they do sessions too, like recording?
I think so. I think they do. I don't. Honestly, I don't know a ton about it.
Neither do I. That's why I was asking. Yeah.
What I do love about this show also is that it kind of completes a trilogy I didn't know I was doing in 2025, which is that it's the third time this year that we had a show where the main reason for being was the bond between me and another musician who was a friend. Because in March, we played at Silver Stream Studio with Love Them. Love is incredible. Such an unbelievable talent. And
I don't know them.
They went to Montclair State with me for music therapy.
No way.
Discover love them. And
Okay.
honestly, interview them.
Sure.
They're excellent. Are you familiar with my song Fair Verona?
No.
It has its own place on Spotify because it was on this particular compilation record that Love put together during the pandemic.
You know what? I saw that. I didn't listen to it. Though. Interesting.
Yeah, when I had just finished With You in Rockland, middle of COVID lockdown, and Love reached out to me saying, "Hey, I'm putting together it's a new album for me, but it's also a artist collab. I want to hybridize what it is." I said, "That's really interesting." And because my laptop thing, my setup wasn't broken down yet, I made one more song, and then they added beautiful and unconventional. Not Love does not do cookie cutter expected harmony. They have a real knowledge of where things can go and be interesting, and it's really lovely. And we started doing that song, and now that's part of the Kindly Ones repertoire because the Valentines never did Fair Verona. I love that. No pun intended. So Love and I did this show together, and then in I want to say it was August, we did a show with my good friend Devin McGinley He and I recorded a 4-track EP called under the name Neither Here. It's called There Volume 1, and it's Devin's been my friend since high school. We also went to Ramapo together, and his music has always been. I've always been a huge fan of the kind of like indie rock bands that he forms. So I think there's another life where I was in bands like that, but it's not a priority for me. And his bands are always sounded so great, and like his voice is this kind of somewhere between the National and Future Islands and stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so he and I we stayed in touch, and it was years in the making. I was going out to Brooklyn whenever I could to write with him, but it's just these 4 songs, and they're kind of a little bit about love and a little bit about anxiety about the world that we're in. The 2 they're all collaborative, but the 2 that were more him, I sing, and the 2 that were more me, he sings. And we're really proud of that. So we finally got to give that like its own party at Silverstream. So we played. So like Matt, absolutely, like Love, Devin, and Matt, like are all people who I just love with all my heart. And glad that we get to do shows. And I think if we're gonna do fewer shows, they should all matter like that, right?
And you're doing the John Simon one too, so that's technically 4, right?
Oh yes. Well, but that's gonna be just me.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
That won't be. Yeah, but that's true. I will be there in a week from tomorrow, paying tribute to John. I'm going to do one of his and one of mine that I know he loved, and actually, but try to do it the way that he used to cover it.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Route 35. Yeah.
Oh, I love Route 35.
Yeah, John did too. John did it his own way. I'm going to try to do it his way in his honor that night. I'm going to try.
Record it. Try to record it on your phone at least.
Now, see, well, I mean, those latest noise guys, don't they record everything?
I don't know. So Rob came on here and was talking about the show last week.
Glad he was.
We talked about it a bunch, but he didn't know if they were going to record it or not. That was something I was asking, because I'm like obsessive about that. I just feel like we should.
Well, I know if you had your way, everything would be. We would have. I mean, and I agree with you. I don't have the means to do that.
Yeah.
I often don't have the presence of mind. I'm always dealing with so much. It's so hard for me to like make other provisions. I just kind of have to be in the moment. But I agree that it would be great if everything we did we could watch back.
Yeah, I'm like good at getting it. I actually have. I haven't put anything out in a while, but I have like hours and hours of recordings, even of live shows that I just.
I mean, I know. I mean, you do put some of it out, and I'm glad you do, because sometimes there's songs of yours that like I'm itching to hear, and I have to like go on your Bandcamp and scour for them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one of my personal favorites of yours is my little.
I know. I need to get a live version of that if I don't have.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm like. If I'm ever in a position to like do something where I'm doing like folk songs, I think I would record a version of that.
I have this idea that I've been floating around, but it should actually get done at soon, like in the next year or two. But I want to put out an album where everybody covers. It's like a circle of people that just cover, like we did that time in the round. I think that could be pretty cool.
Well, I think it would be. You know what? I'm going to say this right now. Like, how often does Scott visit? How often does Scott come up?
I don't see him. I don't know how often. Do you see
him?
It
would be. No, but what I'm saying is, it would be really cool. Like, I know, the three of us were a thing for a while. We tried our best. It didn't quite pan out entirely, but we also, we did have a life of doing it, and it was great, live. And also, I mean, not for nothing, I think Ray probably told you this. There was that time.
For sure.
We were doing
Ray talked about it on the podcast.
There, like before he knew us, he was in his dad's presence. He didn't even know it, But I think it would be cool if maybe one of these songs maybe this next project could include something
Yeah.
that, even if it doesn't involve, even if y'all aren't literally on it, if we could write together,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe even if it was remotely, if we could write together, I think that'd be pretty cool.
For sure. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We tried
Yeah.
to do that writing that one time, but we didn't give it enough time.
Yeah.
I forget what song. It
Yeah.
was about pumpkins or something, right? That song was like a fall song that we were working on.
Dude, wait, oh, I could, that,
You remember?
that-
Do you remember that? It was when I went to your place and we were.
You guys came here.
No, it was
so many-
just me. The one time we both wrote
This,
when we did the
this
podcast, the one that didn't come out before the Rich Sony podcast.
oh, wow. Okay. Because when you came, I remember the two of you came to practice
For
our
sure.
one gig at Boom
Yep.
Tubes, and this place was so new then.
Yeah.
You know, this place was so new, like at the time. It's funny to think, but
It is.
yeah, but I want. There are subjects that I need to write about too, though. Like, because I still haven't written a song about Ray, and he's written a couple about me. You know, and for me, like there are things that matter a lot to me, and like I want to write about them, and but like I find I always need like the right way in, the right music, or this and that. But like my biggest problem, honestly, in terms of writing about Ray, is that Forever Young already exists.
Yeah. No, it's.
You know?
I don't know about you, but I struggle with writing about things that are really close to me. I just not because I don't want to be vulnerable, but it just seems so like basic to me.
I've done it. I just don't know. I don't know how and when I'm got to do it. If you understand what I'm trying to say. I mean, for a very long time, I had a muse in my ex. And that lasted a while. Got used to that. Then I got used to it not. And well, now so now there are like I have a song on this record about like it's a fictionalized account of a particular I had an interesting trajectory in my life because like there was the pandemic, and then I was really lonely. And then I started doing a ton of online dating. And it went nowhere. I got maybe 2 second dates tops, some physical enjoyment momentarily, but I didn't meet who I wanted to meet, and and then like suddenly, this vulnerable young person who was trying to get out of a really bad situation, really, really bad biological family home, he comes in and, being around us makes him feel comfortable coming out as trans, and I became his dad. I became his dad before he moved in here, I always felt like it was what I was supposed to do. I felt very called to do that, because I find that when life is pulling you in some direction, you have and there's times where something is uncomfortable, maybe because it's really new or really different, and you have to decide do I need to go towards this? And I just felt like I was being shaped for something important, and yeah, I was. I'm very grateful for him. I'm very proud of him, and he's written songs.
Wait, you broke up.
Oh.
Okay. You said I'm very grateful for him and very proud of him. I didn't want to lose that part, so.
And yeah, he has songs that that bring me to tears. I mean, he's got the song "Leaving Green Acres." This is Green Acres, Green Acres Drive. This is where I am. And don't dox me. And um, yeah, I want to do my side of it justice, and
Mm.
and then yeah, so it matters to me. My mind is kind of is been concurrently kind of brainstorming around kind of imagery around legacy and passing down and about certain things like that, and I'm trying to find it, put it together to create a song that really does the job. Um, and then I also would like to be able to write about new love and new muse.
One thing that I wanted to hear from your side, if you want to share it, if you don't have it on the top of your head, it's fine. But Ray told a really good story about when he was having a tough time, showed up at the open mic night, and you walked over and were like, "What's going
Talk
on?"
about me more.
Ray is in the background for the listeners, just so you know. I don't know if Ray
Yeah,
talked before.
it's actually this is
Um,
only the second time he's been here since he moved out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Ray moved out recently too, since he was on the podcast last time. So
yeah, yeah.
congratulations to that too.
I'm a nearly 38-year-old empty nester.
Yeah, but I kind of, I'm not surprised to have a Ray cameo in the background because you cameoed on the last episode.
That's
It
true.
doesn't throw me off.
See, the reason why I'm not in the room that he did it in is that he took his desk with him. There's nowhere to sit there now.
It's your Rick Rubin room, just with
It's
a
my
bean.
bedroom. That's my sleep there.
That's your bedroom. Yeah,
That's my bedroom.
yeah.
I sleep there. Yeah.
But yeah, do you
Yeah.
remember that day? Do you remember approaching
The
Ray?
first time.
Yeah.
The first time. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
You want to tell that story from your side of the story? Because we heard
Well, I
Ray's.
met him before.
Mhm.
I'd met him before. He'd come a couple of times before, but yeah, I didn't know in this case. Just seemed. I remembered that he was like kind of a big personality and was like for someone who was so young and so like fresh out of nowhere had really obvious musical talent. That's what I remembered from the first couple times I met him. And I remembered his handwriting. I remembered, but before he was JD Fett, when he was just signing up as race learner.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I remember I went up to him, like, hey, anybody who I felt could really benefit from open mic, I was always like, hey, hi, hey, hello, let me show you how much you should come every week, not every few months, So that was maybe my original motivation for approaching, like, oh, hey, how are you? Oh my God, it's good to see you. I'm happy you're here. Come back,
Mhm.
But then his affect, his demeanor were so sad, so off. I was like, what's up? I graduated from college yesterday. It's like, and I thought you were talking about me.
No, I'm talking
That
to
was
the
you.
dog.
That was you using the tone with me. But and I was like, okay, that's your tone about graduating. Like, talk to me. And yeah, and then yes, I told Rob, my co-host at the time, I think I need to really focus on this individual. Would you mind mainly taking the reins? And I sat with him and I talked with him for a good while. That's and then I made. Did you come to the bar after that night, or was that not till the next
No,
time?
it took a few weeks because I was scared of
I was
humans.
determined to get him out. Yeah. I was determined to get him out.
Well, you also aren't acknowledging that when I went to open mic that night, I sat in the back specifically so no one would talk to me.
Well, yeah.
And you came up to me and you were like, "Hi."
That's my energy. That's the way I am. So yeah. I mean that's what I remember about that. And I remember times where it's a mixture. There's an interesting mixture of like the challenges he was facing and my insecurities about like most people that I had encountered up to this point, where I think I early on I figured he was he was one disappointment away from never coming back, and that would have been a real shame. But that never happened. He saw the community for what it was. He saw me for who I was, and it forced me to see myself that way, in a way that I struggled to, look. I think it's good that I think it's important that I never buy too hard into my own press, like the smell of my own farts or whatever. But but I understand though that now that a good person is someone who tries their best to do good things, and if your self-doubt gets in the way of the good you can do, that's no good. So that's a big thing that I learned from, unexpectedly becoming a dad. Yes.
Yeah. No, and that's beautiful because
Yeah.
I think through what you just said, right, like being kind or putting yourself out there and trying to put good in the world rewards you, I'd imagine, and, well, not imagine, but I witness that. I think that you all have a great dynamic, and Ray is a champion for you more than anyone else in the world, probably. And
I strive to be that for him as well.
Exactly. So
yes.
There's a symbiotic benefit there, and it's really cool. He texted me or Instagrammed me even after you reached out and was like, "Has Andrew reached out about coming on the podcast yet?" And I'm like, "He did," But
yeah,
he's just looking out for you, and yeah, that's cool. What was I going to ask you about? We were talking about that. We were talking about the so on that note too, one thing that I think is really interesting about that situation is you as a music therapist kind of living that in you embody that. I mean, you've embodied it since I've known you, since when I met you, you were going to school to be a music therapist, right? Like you didn't even graduate yet, but already you had that demeanor to you and that empathy of a therapist. How does that play out? We talked about this before, but I always like to check in on it. Like there's some pieces even of your music like Long Beach that specifically touch on it, but has that influenced you in any other ways recently? Your work? I mean, if no is the answer, then, or if it's too many.
I mean, it's not necessarily no. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to separate it now. It pervades. I think the mentality that I have because I am a music therapist, I think is it can't be separated from the music I make or the way I conduct myself. I mean, there are things, there are things about being in the helping professions that are intangible to the work itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like being if you read the music therapy code of ethics, code of conduct, it's a lot of stuff that's pretty, you would expect, a music therapist does not, sexually harass people, for example.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? Right. But also there is kind of you really are supposed to have some orientation to social justice. You know, like you should like even though your own work, in your own small way, is what it is. Like, you should care about the suffering of people all over the world. You should care about what happens out there, right? And you should, yeah, and so I think, the fact that like I am now, it's kind of, I am now on that list of like straight entertainers who are champions of the LGBTQ community, just because I helped, one person. I've been friendly and kind to many other people, but like I did not know that would happen, and I would have been uncomfortable tooting that horn. But again, like I understand that because of what I've done, it is more hypocritical, more like disingenuous to act like I'm not, like to act like I don't have the right to know that I've been an effective ally. Like listen, I get free drinks at a lot of bars around here, just because they know about us. I'm grateful for that. I'm glad, and I'm not going anywhere. I will speak up. I will speak up in your defense, all colors of the rainbow. Listen, Bruce Springsteen is one of my heroes, and he was very early, giving interviews. He gave an interview to the magazine The Advocate, which at the time was a prominent LGBTQ publication. Just after he wrote Streets of Philadelphia, and he was in the movie. His friend Tom Hanks playing that role, right? And I thought that was. It's easy to forget how important that was at the time. Rock and roll's this hyper masculine, very. It's also absurd to deny all the queer elements that without which there would be no rock and roll. But yeah. So I take inspiration from people like Bruce.
Sure. Yeah. I get that. And I think what's differentiating or unique to you too is, and maybe, Bruce has his own flavor of it, right? But like it's like you're doing your music therapy during the day, but then in open mic night and places like that, like it's like you're also using it as a therapeutic element, and the community piece of that is, I'd imagine, pretty important to you as well, right? Like,
oh, I believe very strongly in it. Of course, I do.
Like, would you go as far to say that, like, what percentage of your open mic nights are a group public music therapy session in a way,
Oh, well, I'd say definitely not at all, just because, like, from a standpoint of what it really means, I would say, like, it can't be considered that, but I would say it is 100% informed by
right
that kind of a mentality. Yes, of course, yeah. But listen, also the fact of the matter is that like a pretty good number of us are on the autism spectrum. It's really something to behold, which I love. It's like, I think it's a place that, I think it is an environment that is neurodiversity friendly as well. I think all are welcome as long as you're not doing anything to try to make other people feel unwelcome. And even then, I'd rather try to solve that problem. I'd rather try to have people talk to each other, coexist, understand each other. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a world right now where, like, you know, people feel fearful of a lot of things for very good reasons. There's a chilling effect on free speech these days. I mean, people feel like they can speak freely to some people they know, and that they absolutely need to be really, really careful around a lot of other people. And I don't think that's a good thing at all. I think that the great thing about open mic is we do feel like we can do our thing and express ourselves. And I think that's great, you know.
But not every open mic night has that vibe, so I give you a lot of credit for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, there are a lot of open mics I've come across. I think some of the worst ones are essentially rudderless. Like, they're like, nominally there is a host, but like you try. There's some open mics where, like, you can't find, if you have a problem, you can't find anyone, right? Like, that's crazy to me. Like,
or nobody's listening, or it seems like people don't really know each other that well. There's not as much cohesion. I think that all of that's super important for creating a place where people can be vulnerable and create art, and maybe,
right. Yeah, and I mean, it's okay if some people are introverts. It's okay if some people kind of want to go and perform, kind of be left alone a little bit. That's all right. We can live and let live too. But as long as people know that if they want community, it is here. It is there. That's, to me, the most important thing. We don't all have to be best friends. In fact, I think there is danger in trying to force that. But like, I think everyone should feel like there is a place for them at open mic night.
And yeah, I hear you. And feel welcome to come and show up and play, and not feel like they're being judged in a bad way. You want to be judged in a good way, You want people to listen to you too. It's hard to go to an open mic night when nobody's listening.
It is. But it's a really great feeling when people are like singing each other's songs.
Right.
It's really cool. Or, I mean, my attitude right now at Rock and Joe, actually, I've kind of had a little bit of a revolution in my mind about how to really help the thing grow, compared to what I was doing with my grind. And I think because Rock and Joe is such a nice location, it's right there on Bloomfield Ave, Main Street, There's people walking by who see that something is going on. I have been really focusing on cultivating the audience more than the performers. Because at the end of the day, performers will come when they want to perform. Like, it's funny, even though, my attitude about cultivated performers is part of how I met Ray, and I'm glad about that. Sometimes I think I'm like banging my head against the wall because I don't want to make anyone feel guilty that you didn't come last week. Where were you? But I want the community to be robust and all that. But lately, what I've been doing is I've been looking out into that wonderful room now that we have, and I'm doing something I never really did before, which is I go up to all the people just sitting and listening. We're not even there to perform. And I say, "Hi, I'm Andrew. I host this open mic. Are you enjoying the music?" It's like, yeah. It's like whether they plan to come for open mic, whether they just, are here for another reason, but they sat down and stayed to listen to a few songs. I say, thank you for sitting here and listening. I hope you come back, Because I think if we can cultivate, the best audience, then the performers will come.
That's some next level shit. Yeah, I never even. Yeah. I know what you mean because I've hosted at the Fine Grind for a while, and sometimes you feel like the room is divided, and it is, where there's the random people that are there on a date.
You don't feel like I don't want to be talking shit, but the room. I don't feel like the room is divided, Rich. The room is partitioned.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Literally.
I mean, look,
Yeah.
the robot is more
Mhm.
important than anything. I think.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot about that because I only went like 2 times after COVID. That robot is crazy.
We're watching Only Murders in the Building, and there's like a robot doorman, what's the character's name? What's the guy's name? Right? Yeah, right. Henry is he's way too invested in the robot. He's got having a parasocial relationship with the robot, and it's like anyway.
Have you seen one in a grocery store?
Yeah, I've
Stocking the
seen
shelves. That was the
Yes.
first robot I saw, and I was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit!"
Yeah,
Because I'm
crazy.
like, I don't know, I'm low tech. Even though I'm a software engineer, like I never took a Waymo or anything like that. Like I'm not. I drive like a manual
Yeah.
car. You know, like I don't
Yeah, yeah.
have a. I've rode in a Tesla like twice before. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm very low tech.
But 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 yeah. So the way I see it is, like get people because there's like people in the audience. People came to hear some music,
Mhm.
right? They don't care how long the list is
Right.
or how many songs each person got.
No.
They
Yeah.
care. They care if they heard something that was good and real to them, and hopefully they care that there was some good variety. That maybe the person who came after the last person is way different, and that you can't get this anywhere else. This is in
Mhm.
person, real. This is not, this is not something you can get on some app, some platform, right? You cannot stream this. There's no substitute for this. So realizing that, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna it's not that I'm not gonna tell people to come out to open mic. Rich, come out sometime, some Sunday. But
I will.
But still,
yeah, you can tell
but,
me.
but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be worried. I'm not worried about that because as long as there's some people there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense, and I think it's cool to cultivate the audience in that way too, because
If around Caldwell, people know, oh, on Sunday, you go in there, they got some people playing.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. That's it. Yeah.
and it's good for like you said, it's good for the participants to be able to have people that are more invested to test that
Yeah.
stuff off the audience to feel how it feels to play in front of them, and yeah, that's a good thing. I'm
Yeah.
happy it's at Rock and Joe's too. I've always loved that place, and they didn't always have
Great
music.
room. It's a great room.
Yeah.
When we perform, I look straight at the photo of the Beatles for sale.
Nice.
I mean, the Beatles who are tired from a really, really busy 1964 and with eyes that look like they just smoked weed with Bob Dylan. They did.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they I don't know when, maybe back in like 2017 or something like that. I went in there a few times and I was like, "You guys should have music in here." And they were like, "We don't have music in here." I'm like, "You have guitars on the wall. What do you mean? You got to have music in here. This is a great room." And then yeah, I'm so happy to see it cuz it's a really cool place. How many every musician wants to see a rock and roll, well, every, rock fan wants to see a rock themed coffee shop. It's too cool.
Yeah, no, it's a cool room, man. I mean, and you know what? They mostly, and what I love is they mostly let us do our thing.
Nice.
They're not
Yeah.
they're not they don't have big opinions on how this should go. They just care. I think Dan, the owner, just cares that people are in there buying and snacks, and they are. So that's it, right?
Amazing. Yeah.
And I mean, the place would have been much quieter if we weren't doing it there. So I know that we're doing something positive, and I think it'll get more positive. I think we're gonna keep on building the crowd through the fall and the winter. And I have a funny feeling by spring and summer of the coming year, there will be a culture.
Hell yeah.
It'll be good.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I'm gonna make it out soon. I got a couple
Yeah,
other
great.
things. Actually, I've been playing a little bit more lately,
Oh,
and
good.
not much more. But what time is it at? It's Sunday.
Uh, yes, 5:30 to 7:30,
Yeah,
same
yeah.
as what my ride was.
That's my
Yeah, yeah,
only
yeah.
problem. That's why I don't come out to open mic night because it's like dinner time on Sunday. It's hard for me.
Yeah,
But
I get that.
when there's
You know,
nothing going on, those random
yeah,
weeks, I'll make it
good.
out.
And then we always go to the Cloverleaf afterward.
Oh,
Like,
nice. Yeah, yeah. So I
yeah,
should. Yeah, I can at least
yeah,
come and say hi one time.
yes,
I love the
please,
Cloverleaf.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Now we go there every week. It's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Circling back to
Yes.
the recording and all that stuff,
Yes.
you blew past something that I didn't know about, which was that you went to Nashville to work with this Steve Carter character, who I haven't heard about
Yeah.
before. So you want to talk about
Oh,
that a little
geez.
bit?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I just was like, oh, we'll
Oh,
come
but
back to that later. Yeah.
Steve. Okay, so Steve's my one of my buddies since my college years. He went to William Patterson. Same time I went to Ramapo. He was. I met him at open mics. At the open mics of the time, Beantown in Allendale, Cool Beans in Oradell. He was doing his own music. He became involved with Darren Bradbury. The man, the legend. And he and I were tight, always like sharing songs. He went more the engineering and production composing route. Actually now he has a genuine success and credit as a film composer. There's a
Ooh.
film called Gazer, made by Montclair and Ryan Sloan, starring his partner Ariella. It's like I haven't seen it yet, but it's like a thriller, and it's kind of trippy. Carter scored it. I mean, Carter has loved Radiohead as long as I've known him, and he's basically Johnny Greenwood now, And
Hell yeah.
so he scored this movie Gazer. Actually, and the score includes some Harrison saxophone sound.
Yeah, I was gonna. I was trying to Google that.
Carter and Harrison are tight. They're friends. So, as if they went to William Patterson at almost the same time, but did not know each other then. Let me just plug my laptop in for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Plug it in. Yeah, so they went to Montclair together.
William Patterson. Yeah.
William Patterson.
Right, but Steve's from Mawa. He's been a denizen. He had a band called the Escape Directors for a little while in the early 2010s. They played gigs with us and with the J. Everett Band and this little band called the Front Bottoms. And
oh yeah,
but
I forgot that they went to they went to school.
That they
with
were
you, right?
they were one of us. Oh yes, the Front Bottoms
Nice.
were ours. They were one of ours.
Yeah.
Of course they were. But anyway, so Steve moved to Nashville a few years ago. But Steve's been my guy for a long time. He's produced Wherever You Are Tonight, Lackawanna Waiting Room, and the Second Renaissance.
Maybe we talked about him before, and it's just slipping my mind.
Yeah, and when I made With You in Rockland here all by my lonesome, I still sent it to him to mix, which such as a mix could be made of something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made Enter the Valentines together, and in Nashville, and then I went to Nashville in summer of '24, and that was when the first recordings for the Kindly Ones were done.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did the whole band go to Nashville, or was it just you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think
that's
so.
the thing. So that's the thing. Steve, really what Steve's like true skill set is to create like this kind of indie pop production where like it could be just me and him, and like we have all of the plugins and everything at our disposal. And that, as long as our heart and soul is in it, it's not soulless, it's not fake, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. And you'll hear this on the record, especially a message for the Kindly Ones, which is the opening. It's kind of what theme from Andrew and the Valentines was on the last record. This is equivalent. We're opening every show with it now.
Cool.
And we made that down there almost entirely. We made like the basic like bones of the track of Welcome Home there, whereas Ray added himself and made the thing breathe and live up here with Adam. And we did what's the third? The Chaser. I recorded the Chaser, and the Chaser is on record my electric rhythm guitar
Nice.
debut. So that is already the case there. But yeah. So we did that, and like now Adam Beaner tries to open these files on his computer. It's like, oh my god, because it's so big,
All the
it's so
plugins.
intricate.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the plugins and stuff, which is awesome. And again, like that's a lot of how we made Andrew and the Valentines. Most of Andrew and the Valentines is like that, with a little bit of live band stuff. It's a beautiful mishmash of it, really.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
how much of it did you make down in Nashville, and how much did you have
kindly ones?
of the Valentines?
Oh,
Like, did
I
you
need to,
have
like-
every song laid out from the get-go, or did you piece it
No.
together down there, a couple pieces, and then come back up here?
I'll be honest with you. I need to like open up the album and like
Me
look
too.
at it.
Me too, honestly. But
If I'm gonna like answer this question as accurately as I can, I need to like, okay. There were live drums done as a foundation on, I want to say, Theme and Esperanza and Melody Hill and Mid-May Hymn. So that's 4 of the 9 tracks. The drums you hear on Sing Me Down are triggered. It's a drum machine on Ragged Glory. Obviously, you can hear that. There's no drums on I'll Take the Road, Renegade Saint, and Pain. So, yeah. A lot of the keyboards on Esperanza were initially arranged and recorded as they were arranged by Steve, but then Scarpa heard the song, we started practicing the song and playing it, and then Scarpa said, okay, I now like what I'm doing a lot better than what I was hearing on that version. I'm recording over it. It's like, yes, you are. And so, I think I forget if, maybe the same is true when it comes to the bass. Yeah, no, Carter might be playing bass on some of the tracks. He's the bassist on the Second Renaissance when I did not have a band, Yeah, so it's a much more of like a mishmash of different sounds. But the fact is, like, Sing Me Down, Ragged Glory, Take the Road, Renegade Saint, Pay No Mind, that's a full 5 of the 9 tracks were largely like me and Steve creating sound together in the studio, And then Theme, Esperanza, Melody Hill, Mid-May are more tangible, but still it featured a lot more of that. Whereas, again, also, and the arranging, a lot of these were, like Esperanza, Steve and I made an arrangement, and then the band learned it. Now, the band, we arranged these songs. These songs were all arranged and ready to be played before the recording happened, So that's the difference with the kindly ones.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was wondering. So, when you went for Andrew and the Valentines, did you have the track list already? Did you have the sequence and everything?
I don't know about the sequence order, but I never am writing while making a record, ever. I go in to make a record because I have the songs. If I don't have the songs, it's not time to make the record. And that's just the way. And sometimes I can have enough songs, but it's too soon. How the hell do I know that these are good?
Right.
You can't it's like in Frozen when they hang a lampshade on the Disney princess trope, and it's like, you can't marry a man you just met.
Right.
It's like,
Of course not.
right? It's like, what? It's like, so, like,
love that you said that, because I'm all about the Frozen lately. Frozen is so metal, by the way, and
yeah,
no
of
one
course.
that I talk to, in my family or whatever, understands. I'm like, Frozen 2 especially is so
because
fucking
it gets
metal.
more that, like,
She's
I haven't
riding
seen
an
it,
ice horse, like, through the
right,
woods.
and it gets more into, like, anytime you get into, like, the folk, like the indigenous of Scandinavia, you're getting very metal. I mean, it's just the way it is. But anyway,
yeah.
My point is that no, I had all these songs written, and it's the only reason the record gets made. If I don't have a set of strong songs that hang together, then I'm not making the record.
Yeah, but you're not doing it Radiohead style, right? Where you're going in with like 40 songs and paring it down to 9. You have the 9 or whatever.
Yeah, but right. If I have right, if there are songs that don't fit, then I have to keep writing.
Right. Sure.
The paring down.
Yeah.
The paring down happens before. It doesn't. I don't bring all the songs in.
Yeah.
And pare it down in that there.
You save those for later. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have. I mean, Lackawanna Waiting Room is an example of this. It's the closest I got to that radio, because the idea with Lackawanna Waiting Room is it was a double out.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, it was gonna, whatever that means, a double out.
Yeah.
Right. But yes, songs that were demoed or considered for Lackawanna Waiting Room include Mid Mayhem. There's a recording of me just like banging on a ukulele for Mid Mayhem.
Nice.
There is a really rough and raw, overly bass heavy. It sounds like Howard Shore's Lord of the Rings version of Muddy Shores of Xanadu.
Oh, wait, did you put that on the
Second Renaissance?
Oh, on the did you put that version on? Didn't you release like a?
Romantic High Middle Ages?
Yeah, Romantic High Middle Ages. Is that on there?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, I didn't put that.
I really
no.
like that release. That I love. I mean, that's my style of stuff. It's very Bob Dylan basement tapes, but I like it.
Yeah. No, so like that got set aside. There were a few other things that didn't make the cut. That's the way I sort of will work. So yeah, it was not time to make the kindly ones until like 8 wasn't a magic number, but those 8, I was like, these 8 are enough. I don't need more.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
Like this is also though, because this album is sort of, I haven't mentioned this yet. This album is sort of a tribute to Lost.
Oh, nice.
And so 8 tracks.
For sure.
Right.
Cool.
If you know, folks out there.
Yeah.
They weren't dead the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Go back. Watch the show. But throughout the album now, we have these interstitials of they're not sound bites from the show, because we could get in trouble for that. But we have ourselves quoting it throughout the record.
Are you allowed to do that? Yeah. I think you can.
They're mundane. They're relatively mundane words.
Yeah.
I don't think you can copyright. Yeah. So remember my catchphrase, "Sometimes crazy works," is stolen from Beast Wars. Hasbro has never written me any letters. So even though if you Google "Sometimes crazy works," I'm proud of this. You get half Beast Wars and half me.
I know.
It's awesome.
Because I use that sometimes, and I showed my son the clip from Beast Wars. I was like, "This is the original clip."
Yeah, Rat Trap is riding on Optimus. He's like, I'm gonna jump. You just trust me. We're gonna get through this. And it's a thing that makes him different from Prime, by the way. Like Optimus Prime would not have done that. Like
no.
Like and it's like and then it's like, you realize that was crazy, and he goes, "Sometimes crazy works." But so yeah, throughout the album there are these moments. So like at the end of Welcome Home, I say, "Now you're like me."
I don't remember that
Which,
quote.
did you watch Lost, Rich?
I did watch Lost twice, and I'm gonna watch it actually again starting soon. But it has been the second time I watched it was during the last season, so it's been a while.
Oh, and we're on our third rewatch together, our watch night on Mondays.
I know you guys have been rewatching it. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Ray and Harrison, Ziggy, and our friend Gang.
Sick.
So now you're like me and late in the show. Spoilers for Lost, everybody. But when the mythological prequel episode when Allison Janney is the adopted mother of Jacob and the smoke monster.
I love that episode. Yeah.
When she like they drink the tea and she says, "Now you're like me."
I know
That's
exactly
how
where
Jacob
you're
becomes
talking
the
about. I
protector
don't
of the
remember that
island.
quote, but
And
yeah.
then Jacob passes it to Jack.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Jack passes it to Hurley.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you're like, and also, I mean, Ray's very Hurley coded, don't you think?
Mm.
So, and you know, like what I love about Lost is you can tell someone at the start of the show, like, without spoiling the show, you can say without explaining yourself, Hurley wins in the end. You don't have to explain what that means at all, right?
Yeah.
But Hurley wins in the end. Just say that.
Sure.
And that will keep people watching because they'll know at least one really good guy is okay in the end, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
a good point.
So now you're like me. And then there's the song that Adam and I wrote together, The Chaser. The Chaser is this beautiful song. It's like a relationship song. But Adam is married to someone that was another friend of ours in college. Her name is Marlene, and she is Egyptian. She's a Coptic Orthodox Christianity. Adam was raised Jewish and, you know, not particularly observant or religious, but it takes a lot to convert to Coptic Christianity if you're doing it for marriage and for love. And Adam did it. I was at the wedding. It was in that very interesting church, and they're raising their children that way, and it's a very interesting thing. And so it's a song about kind of love across this interesting religious, gulf to learn and understand and discuss and struggle at times. And it's a beautiful song, and I'm really honored I get to sing it, because Adam doesn't really sing. So I remember I was thinking, like, we should have, like, a line from Lost in here, like, what are some relationship quotes? I couldn't find any, but I realized, oh, no, we don't need a romantic relationship quote here. What we need is a man of science, man of faith discussion. And so when you hear The Chaser on the record, you're going to hear, just at the end of Harrison's beautiful saxophone solo, you'll hear Harrison and I acting as John and Jack.
Cool.
And it's, why do you find it so hard to believe? Why do you find it so easy? It's never been easy. And you can hear this. It's like there.
That's
sick. Yeah. At the end of the album, as Road to Amity fades out, you can hear Ray say, "See you in another life, brother." Yeah.
Desmond's one of my faves.
This stuff, in Danger, you can hear this already in the single for Danger. So put it on right now, you can hear it. I say, "I'm sorry you had to see me like that," which is what the smoke monster says when he transforms into smoke and then back into the body of John Locke, which he's not John Locke. At that point, he's not John anymore. But he says, "I'm sorry you had to see me like that." Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So there's.
I'm excited. I gotta start watching Lost again. Like, I've been planning on. My mom actually asked me if I wanted to watch it with her, like to go over, and I was like, "Sure."
You watched it with your mom. I love that.
We didn't start it, but I watched it the first time with her, like when it was coming out. So she was like, "You want to watch it again?" So I was like, "Sure." But then we didn't. We like watched Happy Gilmore 2 the one time, and then it's been busy. So
Yeah, I hear you. But the theme of the record, is fate. I mean, the kindly ones. Like, do you know what the kindly ones means? Like what that. So the kindly ones is It's one of many names for the ancient archetype of the Fates. The
Oh,
three
really?
Fates.
Cool.
Yeah, they've been known as the Fates, the Furies. Do you know how,
Mm-hmm.
like, the ancient Greeks, because they feared death,
Mm-hmm.
no one ever spoke Hades' name aloud. They called him the rich man, the wealthy
Mm.
man, because
Mm-hmm.
he gets to keep everything in the end, right?
Yeah.
And and then I even use that in my song Equinox way back on Moth. There's a
Nice.
song way far beyond the mystic mountain in a silver mansion, sitting on a scarlet throne, there lives a wealthy man. That's so the kindly ones is like a euphemism for the fates because
Cool.
um, um, and the fates show up archetypally. They're there. A lot of people feel that the three witches in Macbeth, that
Of
Shakespeare
course.
was alluding to the fates by using them that way. They so their names are Clotho, who spins the thread of life, Lachesis, who measures out how long it's going to be, and Atropos, who cuts. Um, and so um, our album cover, which we are working on right now. Our photo is the photo is being taken on film by our good friend Bobby Kerner of Wizard Brain.
Sure.
Um, yeah, and he's taking it on film, which is awesome. Because I used to have film photography for my album covers. That was a long time ago. Have to have someone again who can do that is awesome. And we cast three models. I mean, models I use loosely because they're three women that we know, but
Right. Yeah.
as our fates. So it's our friend Sophia Barclay, who is a stalwart of open mic. She's a Ridgewood girl. Was my neighbor, even though we're 10 years apart, but she was always a very important fixture of open mic. Then her good friend Tatiana, who also from Ridgewood, who also happens to be the girlfriend of Jared Beers, who co-wrote Grand Old Time, which is great. And she'll be Lachesis. So Sophia will be Clotho. She'll be Lachesis. And then I was in a bind. I could not find the third girl for a while. And I'm talking to Steve Carter, and he's like, "Oh, I think I have a solution for your problem. My sister walks around like she's like a witch all the time." and I was like, "Really?" I mean, I knew he
Yeah.
had two sisters. I met them. I was at Steve's house the day that COVID was declared a global pandemic in
Mm.
a rental car because my car had crashed that day. It was a terrible day. That's when we recorded Black Wind.
No
So,
way.
I know.
Damn.
I mean, yeah. So I know his family well. I've been there. So, but I didn't know that his sister rejected corporate America, and she teaches Zumba in Connecticut now, and so she came through, and we actually had our first photo session here a week ago, and
Nice.
she was great. She unbelievably was dressed for the part, and really got the Bobby did a great job. We had fun. We had pizza. We drank red wine. Yeah. So thank you to Jackie Carter, and now we're just working on planning when we can do a session with Sophia and Tatiana, hopefully on the same day. And yeah, Ray's doing the design, and we're pressing these photos onto tarot cards.
Ooh, I love it. I love tarot cards.
Yeah. And there's a lot of symbolism all over the album that relates to this stuff. Because if you think about it, it's so Message for the Kindly Ones has three very simple verses. But each of the slight changes of words, they relate to each of what the three fates would be known for. Okay? I mean,
Mhm.
we're dealing in we're being nice and we're not saying maiden, mother, crone, because I think it's 2025, But
Mhm.
there's something about that there, right? In Dangerous, we have the triple guitar solo, which is
Hmm.
that is Harrison, then Scarpa, then Ivo, all in a row. The guitar solos melt into each other, each of their own styles, and in a way, I guess that means Harrison is sort of assigned to Sophia's character in a way, and Scarpa's sort of assigned to Tatiana's character in a way, and Ivo was sort of assigned to Jackie's character in a way, and because there's three, my band is three now, right? So it's perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of have, in a way, I mean, the album is, I would say, it's 8 tracks, so it's not divisible by 3. But I might argue that we can go, like, maybe it's 3, it's 2, 2, 2, and those are the 3, and then we have like a code, you know? I don't know. I mean, I'm very inspired by The Crane Wife by the Decemberists is such a touchstone for this album, like what we're doing. Like, indie folk band goes big. Like, The Crane Wife does that. You know, it's so... I mean, the island is like... Oh, my God. Like, Jenny Connelly might as well be Keith Emerson, right? Like, and so... But that whole album is not about the story of The Crane Wife, but because of how Part 3 begins the album, and then you have 1 and 2, there is this thread that, like, you just feel the album is bound together, and there's some other themes, right? There's, like, the kind of the anti-war theme, right? When the war came, Sons and Daughters. Yeah, like, that album really works conceptually, even though it doesn't have to, but it really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a while since I listened to that album. It's a good album.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had a lovely, you know, I got Ray into the Decemberists, and it really kept that more in my life again. I've told him that we can go see them, you know, once per leg of the tour if he wants that, because I think he's determined to be Colin Malloy, and I think he probably will. But you know, it's only fair. My dad took me to see Bruce Springsteen every leg of every tour. This is easier and less expensive. So and I still love the band.
Yeah.
Only, you know, like Bruce is up here, and all my favorite indie bands are right below him. So here you go. You know.
Totally. I've never seen the Decemberists, but actually,
they're great live. Yeah, they're amazing live. Yeah.
Is it Castaways and Cutouts, the one with the ship? Yeah, that was one of the first vinyls that I got, actually.
Oh, yeah, Ray's got that. Yeah. We listened to it at his place quite a bit.
I love, too, that it doesn't have the name on it, because it just gives it, like, a nice...
I love
what
that
is this
comment.
album?
I love, you know, the Beatles did that, right? I mean, like, it just says, like, everyone knows what our faces look like. It says Rubber Soul.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Hang on. There was something I was going to ask you. I got to remember it. I lost it just then on the Decemberist piece. Well, I don't know. It'll come back to me. Oh! I was just going to say, well, first of all, I love all that, like, symbolic, you know, how they, like... Actually, I can't find this. One of my English teachers told me that, like, Shakespeare did all this, like, math and, like, weird symbology in the actual scripts when they were, like, given to the actors. When you look at the original covers, there's all this, like, trigonometry. And, like, I love that kind of, like, putting... And even non, you know... Freemason-esque stuff, like how Steve Jobs would say you have to build the inside of what you're building with just as much beauty as the outside. I really like that philosophy when it comes to music, so I loved all that kind of shit.
Sure. I would say the only thing about this record that is important to say that I feel like I haven't said yet is that a major element of this record, more so than ever before, although it was brewing last time around, is my voice. That like the two big inspirations for this record. I said the first one already, which is the Crane Wife. The other is just I would say in particular the National.
I never got too into the National, actually.
I mean, but Matt Berninger, he of this velvety deep voice, who's aged so beautifully. I mean, the guy is like fine wine, right? Like, you know, like Leonard Cohen is dead, right? But Lord willing, we'll have Matt Berninger for a few more decades, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I
Like
haven't.
that's
I haven't like listened to. I only listened to their first album when it came out. I haven't.
only
followed
their
them.
first album. Oh,
Yeah.
they've done some really beautiful stuff. I mean, like they got really like textured and atmospheric at times. And I mean, listen, they're multi-talented. I mean, the Dessner brothers were so instrumental to Taylor Swift's sound that like people demanded she stop working with them for this one that she just put out. Like, I mean, they got tired of it. They were so important to her. Them and what's his name, Jack Antonoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But fellow Bergen County boy. But my voice, I never thought my voice would be something that I would really be able to center a record around, because when I was younger, it was always like almost a truism to me of like basically like well, my voice isn't for everyone, but I write great songs, and I know what I'm doing with my songs, right? But like my voice has grown, it's evolved, and especially as I've gotten older and I've learned how to sing better. I was in choir in grad school that helped me breathe. I have these like rich tones. I think like I think we might have talked about this, that like my grandfather passed away, and then on Andrew and the Valentines, I do this thing on in particular, I'll Take the Road and Pay It No Mind, where it's almost a little bit Sinatra-esque, like my grandfather was, I mean, before emphysema took his lungs away, he loved to sing like that, and like, and that's my maternal grandfather, but my father also. I mean, my father is, by the way, currently doing way more podcasts than me, like kind of on a book tour. My dad released an autobiography about his life in the restaurant business. I mean, my father is a very significant restaurateur, So, but like they used to say, my dad's voice was deep and smooth, like Barry White. They would say about his voice,
Wow.
So like, I am proud of how my voice sits on these recordings, how it's produced, and like we're not like drowning in reverb like on the Second Renaissance, where we were trying to go for that kind of 80s political rock vibe, and we're not. And we're also not having that. I feel like Valentine's had kind of like almost like a 60s approach to things in a way. Like I felt very like, I think the biggest comparison retrospectively to Andrew and the Valentines is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is right behind you. But this is much more like, it's much more modern sounding, like modern rock band sounding. Like my voice is like really kind of like up there, and like you feel it, and like everything kind of feels really like bold and powerful now, and I really enjoy it. Yeah.
I heard that on Dangerous. That's the first thing I noticed on the song, was like, and actually I listened to it a while ago now, so I'm trying to remember. Like I've listened to it a bunch of times since, but I'm trying to remember what I felt like, because right after we had texted or whatever, however we coordinated, the first thing I did was went on a run and listened to Dangerous 4 times in a row.
Cool, thank you.
Great run song.
Oh, good.
But when your voice came in, it's like it was like when you watch a pilot of a show, and then like if you think about like The Office, when you watch like season 1, and then you see like Steve Carell in season 2 when they like upgraded the clothing and he has a different haircut and everything. That's the vibe I felt. It's like a familiar vibe. It's like familiarity, but then like the next level, And
That's
I
awesome.
liked it very much. It was like,
so you're saying that before this, it was the Seinfeld Chronicles?
what are the? Oh yeah, exactly,
Their friend
like that.
Kessler was coming through.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly like that. But not. I mean, I think that happens. That's already happened to you multiple times.
Yeah.
Right. The second Renaissance in the same way. Each time it is. So it's almost like you're just seeing the next season with a new haircut or whatever.
Yeah,
but
maybe it's like
it's cool.
Maybe it's I don't know.
It's like The Walking Dead when like Rick's beard is thicker or whatever for the new season, and you're like, "What's been going on?"
Or maybe it's
but the opposite.
maybe it's like the heyday of the MCU where they kept topping themselves. You know.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I appreciate that as a fan.
Yeah.
You know, when you're here, you're like, "Yeah, this is the upgraded version of Andrew coming in," and yeah, the vocals were. Well, it's always the upgraded version of everything, but the vocals were the thing that I noticed right away.
Yeah, those drums too,
Cool.
though,
This
right?
is like a minor.
Those drums.
The drums are great too. The 3 guitar solos are great. Like, it's a great song. But yeah, you're coming in, like you said, the secret agent man vibe, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Are there anything else that you wanted to talk about the album? I mean, would you take all the time you want if there's stuff that we didn't
I
hit
don't
on?
think so, man.
Let's do it.
I think we really hit it. I think we really hit it hard.
Me too. And I think we should hit it after it comes out and do the traditional
please,
where we talk about each
that.
song. Let's do
Hey,
that sooner than later.
Good. And maybe I'll have more things, more of a lot of things to talk about too, right?
Of course. Yeah. Trying to think. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to ask, which is the tarot cards. Are they going to map to any actual tarot cards? Do the Furies map?
No, right? I thought it was like the Empress or something.
There's gonna be a things.
Right. Oh, I see. So you're creating like the design yourself. Awesome.
They're homemade,
Yeah.
home design.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, I trust Ray implicitly in this case. So
I can't wait to see those. It's like my favorite art category is
good.
tarot cards.
Good to know. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how this is. Everything becomes so real when you have like a visual. You have,
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Andrew.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks to the listeners for listening.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, we'll chat soon, and look out for more episodes, and check out the Andrew and the Kindly Ones album coming out November 15th. And we'll look out for shows too. Where should they follow you?
Oh, well, I mean, follow Andrew and the Kindly Ones on Instagram, on TikTok. You can just follow Andrew Nieporent on your preferred streaming service. Yeah, I mean, if you're listening from our area and you somehow aren't locked in on all this, come to our album release party at Cedar Beans Coffee Joint in Cedar Grove. We're going to be kicking it off at 7 p.m. On Saturday, November 15th. Jamie Fett and Ziggy Grover will be opening the show. We're going to do the whole album and more. The more is
I love that.
some surprises to come. And and then 2 weeks after that, we'll be playing with the Imperfect Matt Newbert. And I think another band I have not met but is friends with Matt called Radburn, which is a Fair Lawn reference. We'll be there on November 29th at Big and Tall. Yeah, so
Cool.
Be thankful.
And the Rock and Joe.
And every
People should
Sunday I
check out
host
if
an
they
open
haven't
mic night at Rock and Joe, and if you are a performer, but even better yet, if you just want to hear some good local live music, come out every Sunday, 5:30, 7:30.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it.
And sometimes
Never
crazy
stop.
girls.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly. I need one of those.